Morning is about, what time is it? 6:05 a.m. Sunday, February 15th, 2026. Got my hot water with lemon. It done cooled a little bit. This is my second. This is 18 fluid ounces. This is my second. Got some pure wildflower honey, some turmeric, black pepper. The first one, did I add cinnamon to the first one? I don't remember. Add a little salt. It says it's good for electrolytes. For the first one, I didn't do it for the second one. So this one just got honey, turmeric, black pepper. They said the black pepper help absorbs the turmeric nutrient or something. You know. I'll drink on an empty stomach. So start my day with 36 fluid ounces of water. My target goal every day probably be at minimum 125 fluid ounces of water. I am on day 28. I'm about of no soda, no alcohol. And I've done 30 days with like no alcohol, no red meat, no pork, no cheese and shit. I did that before. But this one feels a little bit different. I mean, I've had to do the no pork, no red meat, no cheese. Eat peace rolls, ham sandwiches at home and stuff. A little cheese. You know, that don't mean I won't get there in due time. I'm just breaking things down, small incremental steps. Put up my dishes. My daughter, she in the room asleep, knocked out. I know she gets up very early during the weekday because she got to go to babysitter. And she gets home very late at night. You know, she lives with her mom. I get her on weekends. With that being said, some people point out the fact that they feel like since I've had my daughter, or since, you know, that she brought me balance, or I just seem like I'm 180 from the Jason Nelson that they're accustomed to seeing, let's say through social media at minimum. Some of y'all know me for doing stand-up comedy, putting together shows and events, traveling the country. Before Focus on the Funny, after Focus on Funny. And then some people just met me or heard of me after I had a mental breakdown, which was a gradual buildup, but it most definitely kicked in 2022. 2022 is when an ex-wife of mine had passed away, and a lot of different things were just attached to it that just was overwhelming. Plus everything that was associated with it before, during, after, you know, with my other children. It was crazy. But when people see me doing the things that I do with my daughter, I mean, from the part that you can see, I've actually always been like this as a father. When I was married, I got married twice in my 20s. I am now 42 years old. I have been single and living alone since I was 34. Both women would say I was a great father. The first woman I was married to, she said she don't know why she listened to anyone else. This is the things that I didn't ask questions. She would initiate these things to say. I remember this one particular time she told me we were at a park with our kids, like, I don't know, like off Graham Road or something. And I was playing with our son and chasing him around or whatever. Then we got to the car. She goes, "You are a great father. I don't know why I listen to anybody." This is all in my 20s. Now, when I met her, we met on this social media site called Black Planet. This 2007, February 2007. Our first time hooking up, I think it had to be our first time that we hooked up. Not like we didn't hook up like on first day, you know, but the first time we, you know, she was like, "I want to have your baby." And I was like, "Okay." Like, I didn't think that of it, you know, like I liked her. I thought she was pretty. She was thick. Some people used to say she was a big girl, but at that time I just thought she was thick. What I'm saying? But she was pretty. Beautiful brown skin, natural hair. And she was funny. She cracked me up a lot. What I'm saying? Now she's always talk about like Joning or something like that, talking about her daddy, the way he Joan. And I was like, I never would Joan on her because my thing is I don't really like to hurt people's feelings. And then two, once I start, I can't stop. Like, I don't know. It's like I have addictive personality. So once that door open, it can't close. So that same way, like when I start losing respect for people, like I fight so hard to remain respectful, to remain loving, to remain. But I know once it's over, I cannot go back. I promise you. I am probably the most unforgiving person I know. Because I don't lead with disrespect. I don't lead with negativity. I don't lead with meanness. I don't lead. I don't even play with it. I'm showing you love. I'm showing you kindness. I'm showing you consideration. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then when you start like, I don't know, some people relate. And I'm not bragging about the unforgiveness thing. It's something I've been praying on, like literally I'm praying on. Shout out to God first and foremost, then therapy, and then, just time. But when she said she wanted to have my baby, that made me feel like somebody wanted me and we was gonna have a family. See, I used to live in group homes as a child. Not exclusively. I used to live with my mom. It was very unstable. And there was some violence going on in the home between her and the guy person she was with. And that's not even why she lost custody of me. My dad got custody of me. He had more of a support system behind him in the form of his family. And when he got me, he told me he didn't want to pay child support. I was 8 years old. He literally told me this. Him and his wife used to beat on me a whole lot from 8 to 13. 13, I showed school with 2 black eyes, 2 huge eyes. My face was holding like this. Then I got placed in a children's home. So 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I went to 4 different group homes. Then my older brother became my foster parent. I was about 17. Now to some of y'all, I'm like, 17, nigga, you was grown. Yeah, now I'm 42, I look back at it. But if anybody who grew up in the institutions or worked in them, I'm not saying it's exclusive to us in those circumstances, but no, it's like my brain was stuck at wherever it was before I went in. You're not being raised like other people, you know what I'm saying? And then, everything was moving fast, man. It was like all these social pressures of what I had to be and how I had to be. People wanted me to be like, have girls, and then like, I don't know, but I wasn't even used to talking to people. I was shy as hell and quite an introverted, but I was always introspective. But I had my first daughter because I wanted someone to love that'll love me back. That's my oldest daughter, my daughter Naya. Yes, at 42 years old, I see that sounds stupid. Like, you understand, but it sounds stupid. I didn't know about self-love or healing. And I wasn't even like one of those kids that really acted out. I was around crazy. I was around people doing crazy shit. I did not like getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But I was always like, I don't like getting in trouble. I don't like to lie. I didn't like to lie then. I don't like to lie now. People know me, like, don't ask me the question if you don't want to know the answer, because I am not a good liar. I'm not a good liar. And people know, if nothing else, I'm going to tell the truth. And it's not because I'm so real. I'm just not a good liar. And not that I want to be a good liar. I never really wanted to lie because I never understood why people just didn't tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Just tell the truth. But I also was very gullible and naive. But either way, when I got with the first woman I ended up marrying, um, I thought it was my opportunity to have a family. You know what I'm saying? It was like my opportunity to have a dream come true. She was encouraged to leave me by her mom because they felt like I didn't earn enough money. I mean, just like her, she was living with her parents. I was living with my brother, you know. And we never really had no major responsibilities in all transparency. Neither one of us. So we were moving fast. Very, 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 very fast. Um, Met February 2007. Our son was born December 2007. I married her November 2008. I didn't even know we were separated. She had left at the encouragement of her mother by at least June 2009. Because her mother told her she could do bad all by herself, which was crazy. I was working 3 jobs and she was working 0. I didn't complain about it. I never talked bad to her or, oh, you don't do this. The only thing I used to be upset about was the house was always messy. And then sometimes I couldn't even lay next to her as my wife. I wanted to lay next to her. She would keep our son in the bed with us, like wedged between us. Like, come on, women, some of y'all understand, you know what I'm saying, how y'all can do that intentionally. Not all, but some, you know. And our son had his own room and own bed and stuff. It's not like I didn't want him around us at all, but it's like sometimes it's me being her man. I wanted my woman to me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to hold her, kiss her, you know, whatever comes along with us being, well, you know, we was young, but grown-ups, you know, but you can't do that with your kid in the room. And I'm like, okay, every once in a while, but I'm like, damn, brother, like every day? You know, like for months? You know what I'm saying? But she left. And it threw me for a loop because I'm like, man, I wasn't even doing nothing. And then I start talking to other women when she left and stayed gone. Then she tried to come back in when she realized other women had my attention. So I don't know if she wanted me to chase her. And it's not that I didn't, but I'm like, when you told me you was done with me, I asked you to come home. I plead with you. You were like, no, I'm done. I'm like, so after a while, I was just like, all right. You know, I remember when we got back together for a little minute, and she told people she left me because I cheated. Which, ironically, she was talking to other people first. Which I later seen when she would come over to our home, and then she left. I mean, she had the key, and anytime she would have come home, she could have. But this is what I learned in my journey, that she probably, like some other women, talked so much crap about what she was doing, not going to do. Because we did not have any real issues going on. Like, when I tell you this, all I did was go to work and then come home. I went, hey, for real, like, I paid the rent. I paid all the bills. I worked 3 jobs. And I'm pretty sure I can find witnesses to this because they were my co-workers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, she was inboxing guys and shit. My brother's wife at the time inboxing everybody talking about we ain't gonna be together. I seen one inbox where she gave a dude her number and he like, ain't you married? She like, and we going through a divorce. I didn't even know we was going through a divorce. I'm like, and I didn't even tell her for the longest I saw that message, because what happened was she came to the house, logged in on the computer, got on Facebook. She usually log out, but this time she didn't. And I'm normally not that type of person that go like clicking through people's stuff, looking through phones. But this time I was curious. And I scrolled through her social media. I was like, this girl was bashing me the whole time. I'm like, damn. I remember one in particular, I was watching on Father's Day, it's 2009. It was LeBron James and Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose or something like that. I think they was playing each other. And I was watching it with my son. I think we bonded. She on Facebook talking about, why am I watching this stupid game? Blah, blah. I'm like, damn, nigga, you watch TV all day. I finally get her off day. It was like some around June. It was 2009. But either way, I'm like, damn, I finally get a chance to watch a basketball game, nigga. I like LeBron James, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like she, I remember she inboxed my brother's wife. Yeah, me and Jason gonna separate. I want you, we gonna go through a divorce, and I want you and Mark to still be in the kid. I didn't even know that y'all was even cool like that for you to be inboxing my brother's wife, bitch. Like they didn't even know you. They just know I met you on social media in 2007. You got pregnant in 2007. I married you in 2008. They don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, and then I remember she inboxed her brother. His name Robert Steeples. Mama, I should listen to Mama and Daddy. Blah blah. This broke ass nigga only gave me I think it was like $40. And I remember that day because we went to the Del Mar Loop, and this woman complimented our family. Said, "You all have a beautiful family." And I remember that day because I just paid the rent, I paid all the utilities, I paid all the bills, and I bought the diapers and everything. And I said, here's some money left over. She was really good at fashion and accessorizing herself. And she didn't need a lot of money to do those things. So that's something that I admired about her. Like the fact that she didn't need a lot of money to make herself look. That don't mean that one day I wouldn't have wanted to give her more things. But we were just getting started in life. You know what I'm saying? I slept with you, and I decided that instead of sleeping with you like I did other females in my brother's basement, I decided that I wanted you in your own home. So that's what I sought. I didn't, but silly of me when I was younger, I thought that would be an admirable thing. You know what I'm saying? But I guess not. I was always, not always, but oftentimes I find myself thinking more of the female. Because I want to say woman, but I don't even know how I call myself a man at that stage in my life. You know what I'm saying? But I find myself thinking more of them than they thought of themselves. Because my assumption was that a woman was waiting for a man to treat them in such a way. Now, of course, I'm young. I don't know anything. I didn't grow up with my parents. I wasn't really raised. I'm being honest. I really wasn't raised. But it wasn't because I was misbehaved or I'm acting out. It was just the circumstances of my life. So, with that being said, she was gone. She later told me, back to the brother thing. He was like, why don't you just tell mom and daddy you sorry, you can come back home? Because they still stay in a huge house built up from scratch off Highway K in O'Fallon, Missouri. From my understanding, it was built up from scratch. Like, I don't know the validity of this. This is what I was told by the woman I was married to. Just like I was told by the woman I was married to before we married to her. God told me not to say that. I'm going to hold that in. Yes, Lord. I'm going to practice. Taking heed to your voice. Well, but I was also told that she was told by her father to file for welfare and then she can come back home. I can't count for the validity of this, but I later learned she filed for welfare in St. Charles County while we were living together in St. Louis County, laying next to each other. So I'm getting behind in child support. At that time, had no idea that it was a child support case against me, laying next to a woman I'm married to before she decided to go. And then I learned that her dad said, oh, can't come back in. So now she got to stand on what she's standing on. She ended up moving to her mother's father's extra home out there in like O'Fallon, Missouri. They black. They grew up in St. Louis, but they moved to O'Fallon. Her dad was like a country boy type of guy. Her grandfather or her mom's dad was a country boy. I don't fucking know. I never got a chance to know her family. They never got a chance to know me because we were two young people who met on social media moving fast. I did not understand why I was going through this stuff. And I wasn't like into like a lot of stuff. I'm not trying to act like I'm some holier now, goody two shoes, but a lot of stuff that they project upon men stereotypically, that just wasn't me. And I think looking back at it, a lot of the two women I married in my 20s, they kept trying to get me to have stereotypical guy responses, whether it was like acts of physical violence or infidelity. That wasn't me. Now, if you tell me you done fuck with me, and yeah, that's different. I want to put that on there. Like back then, if you like, oh, I ain't fucking with you, well, and I'm keep asking you to let us work it out, let's do this, and then yeah, then shit, hey, it was what it was. Now at this stage of my life, I wouldn't even do that. One, I would hope I don't have to go through that with some woman, especially at not this point in my life. Hell no. That's why I've been single since 34 years old. I am 42 years old as of maybe about 3 weeks ago. And I'm going to continue to speak on this. Of course, I got to break it down. Some people heard it before, but now you're hearing it from a place where I'm more healed. I'm currently sober. And I can laugh at it now. That don't mean it still didn't hurt my feelings. It don't mean it still didn't make me sad. It don't mean like my heart wasn't broken. But by the grace of God, He kept me, and I'm doing the work. That's where there's some of this water kicking in it, and me making healthier food choices overall. As I worked on my mental and emotional and my spiritual well-being, I'm now incorporating that and taking that same mindset that took me 3.5, 4, almost 5 years to get to where I'm at now on my physical health. So I'm going to pause that and I'm going to title this Healing Out Loud Part 1. So each segment is Healing Out Loud and then whatever amount of videos. So this video is ending around the part when the first woman I married decided to leave me in 2009. We weren't even married a year. And she told me her mother encouraged her to leave me because she could do bad by herself. And she asked her mom, well, why didn't you leave daddy? She said because he was a provider. Granted, I heard that he was harmful towards her oldest daughter that she had with another man, as well as it is documented he was very abusive towards his wife. We didn't have those issues. We were just a young couple, young family, just figuring it out. Like other couples who hung in there. You know? So that's part 1 of Healing Out Loud. I don't know how many parts are going to be to this. And my intention for doing this video is because it makes me feel good to heal out loud, as well as maybe this can help other people and give perspective.